Happy Tuesday. How you doing? Well, I won't take too long, but I got a little bit of time before I head off to the BTH. Somebody asked me, it says, how come you don't talk about cars anymore and things you used to talk about? And the answer is simple. I find it so fucking boring. So boring. You know, every once in a while I scroll and scroll and scroll. So many fucking car channels on here. What a junk. A lot of people with projects that never get completed, they get abandoned. Sanford's not the only one. Sanford is not the only one, believe me. There are many more. The scammers that out to try to build their channel to make money. Those with a big ego that are also trying to make money, but they want to be famous. They got to feed a bank account and feed their ego. I could get into my old buddies, my old buddy that, is cutting up heads on a Ford straight six and he's going to turn it into an LS head and this and that. How long ago was that? Did that engine ever get built? Did it ever get put in a car? Did he ever drive that car? Race that car? Just drive it around the block? There's a term called clickbait. And sometimes I don't know who's worse. The guys running these scams on here to build a channel, or the dumb fucks that are stupid enough to follow these guys, knowing damn well they're not going to do shit. The live stream thing seems to be pretty big from what I understand. Java's not the only one. A lot of them, the only time they really come on there is do a live stream. They just sit around and talk. I prefer to talk with people in their company. I'm not big on the live stream thing. I've done a few with Will. We had talked about doing one in the near future, Will, Nolan, and myself about music. Even now, the more I think about it, I don't even know if I want to do that. I've done it a couple of times. I get to about an hour and it's like, I want to stop doing it, It can be fun. Oh, yeah. But the fun kind of wears out after a while. For me, anyway. Trip Keeper, got that old fucking buzzard. Scam people. He's the most pathetic of them all. Build his channel, his channel. Somehow he got locked out when his partner died. Didn't have a password. He had to start all over again. That's where Sanford comes into the picture and Sandy. And I know we can build your channel. We're going to pull it. People's heartstrings. We're going to tug on their heartstrings. We're going to do a project that's going to save all those fucking kids. St. Jude's Hospital. Raise a ton of money and it's going to be able to pay for them to finally come up with a fucking cure that they need the money for. And this 318 engine build is going to be the way to do it. The thing's never been built. It's almost 2 years now. He didn't lay a finger on that fucking thing. The only guy that did something with that was Charlie the Tuna down in Florida that ported those heads. There was pretty much nothing left of those fucking things. He gave up. Yeah, that's it, man. Those heads were never mounted on a block. Block was never bored, honed. Crank was never reworked to increase the stroke. And that went from a stock engine, now it's going to be highly modified. And then fucking Sandy, too, with his Casper and Not So Friendly Ghost, another one. I heard he's building his own engine project. He actually I heard he put out a laundry list of parts he wanted people to donate. Right down to pistons, rods, cranks. Well, I'm going to build this engine. The very first time I saw that was a few years ago. And it blew my fucking mind. And today it's commonplace on here. So many people are doing it. Sanford, Baby Bottle Rocket. How many people gave him money? He actually said, hey, you guys can help support your channel. What the fuck kind of support you need for a channel? This channel here, I don't need your fucking support. I pay my way in life. People ask, you got to support my channel. No, what they're saying is you got to support me so I don't have to get a real fucking job. Support me. Put money in my pocket. Because it don't cost a fucking dime to make a video. If you got a phone or a laptop. You're already using it for more important things. So why the fuck can't you use it on here? Why do you need to get paid to use it on here? I'm going to spout off about a few things that's been on my mind for a long time. Sanford asked for fucking donations. A lot of people gave Sanford money and it's fucking Sunday night yak sessions. Him and his wife take strolls down memory lane and just talk back and forth with each other and bullshit for 2 hours, you know. And people actually look forward to that on Sunday night. Maybe you guys need to get a fucking life. Get some friends, family, do something. You know, yesterday I had a fucking blast with my daughter's son-in-law and my Artemis. There were so many other things at the zoo, the elephants. You know, there were so many other exhibits there with animals that it was just too much to get into. You know, I did a real shitty job of my hack job editing, but it was just, you know, little bits and pieces of things. Each segment was a little bit longer than 15 seconds, 10 seconds. Funniest spot though, Adi, he's a real fucking character. There was a lady there with her son walking by. The kid was, looks like he's about 4 years old. She's walking by. The kid's got a box of McDonald's French fries and he's eating French fries. And Adi sees it. And the kid and his mother are stopped by, they had like wild Canadian geese, like a pond there. And they were at the rail looking. Artemis breaks away from my daughter, runs over, grabs the fucking French fries from the kid, runs back, and he's eating the fucking French fries. And I'm laughing. My daughter says, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Louise. It's okay here." So then her son goes over, takes the box back, and Adi's just looking at him. So Adi and that kid stood there eating all the fucking French fries, and my daughter was talking to his mother. It was so funny. Kids are so adorable. This is what I enjoy in life, a lot more than any car could ever give me any joy and pleasure than that. You know, unfortunately, my other daughter, my Benji, he's a little too young. He's only 3.5 months old now. Wait a minute. Only 2.5 months old now. He's not quite old enough to really enjoy those things by next summer. And by the way, Adi is big enough now. He's been riding his Power Wheels Harley trike I got him for Christmas. Now he's old enough. He's been riding it around their backyard. You know, he likes pressing the engine startup sound and the horn, and he's all happy and excited. I got to get him to come down here by the beach and ride all around the bike path, all around Fort Tabor and all the way around. Gotta love it, you know. You know, Sanford, you know, asked for money. A lot of people paid for that piece of shit baby water rocket. It was gonna run a 10. Yeah, we know what happened with that. Even my ex-boyfriend, Cabbage Patch Kid, you know. He's a good guy. I like busting his balls. He's a good guy. And by the way, I don't know if you watch anymore, but I heard he got married. I wish him and his bride the best of happiness and health. You know, he's a good guy, but you know, people that get involved with Sanford only drags people down to this fucking level. He doesn't uplift anyone. You know, he doesn't teach anybody anything of any real value. I hear with him all he's doing lately is, once again, cheap pots from China. You know, he's kind of going the Scotty Kilmer route. And one time I watched Scotty Kilmer, oh, that guy's a fucking hoot. He's a big-time drunk, too. I don't know if I told you. There's a crew we get together with up in Manchester, New Hampshire on occasion. I heard Scotty moved out of New Hampshire, moved to Tennessee, then moved back. I don't know. I don't really follow these people, you know. And one of the guys were talking one day, we're at Laconia, and he says, "Kilmer, that guy's a big-time drunk, man." He says, half the time on his videos, he's fucking rip-roaring drunk. That wouldn't surprise me. Hates everything, hates everything. I even thought at one time he was being paid or sponsored by automotive products, from lubricants to spark plugs, you know. Bash the competition. That way he can get away with it. If they do it, they'll get sued by their competition. So Scotty's got in a little gray area. He's allowed to get away with it, you know. And Sanford's gone that route now. You know, doesn't work on shit anymore. All his projects are abandoned. Well, I heard he did do something with a fucking Jeep. Some Jeep he was going to get to run a 13. Whatever happened with that? What happened to the mule cart? You know, whatever happened to anything? I hear now he's jumping all over Harley Davidson. You know, due to their changes in their production, you know, outsourcing things. And he's done that before. Trying to tell companies how to run their business. Like, he knows so much about being a businessman. Every one of his businesses fucking failed. Starting back in New York. When he had to hightail it out of New York because he had nothing going for him. And he was, you know, he was in a world of hurt in many areas. From losing his driver's license for life. He has no fucking license. Never will have a license. He's already been arrested twice in Tennessee. But like I said, a lot of southern states. And I got two cousins in Tennessee. They've been down there about 35 years now. And I remember seeing it on the news one time in a lot of mostly southern states. It's an epidemic of unlicensed drivers, DUIs, this and that. They lose their license, they keep driving. Cops get so tired of having to lock them up, all the paperwork and whatnot. They just write them a ticket as if you were caught speeding unless you're doing something really fucked up. You know, cause an accident, hit somebody. You know, another DUI. And what are they going to do? Take your license away? You already fucking lost it. Then maybe you might get, 10 or 30 days in jail. But he said it's pretty rare. Sanford's already arrested twice. Now, I'm quite sure he's been stopped. I'm quite sure people know, hey, there he goes again. Got bald, dude. And he's fucking bald as a baby's head. Listen, I got fucking hair, dude. I know it's thin as a motherfucker. I don't hide this shit, It is what it is. Sanford's got a fucking landing strip. You could park a 747 on. There was a picture that went around. Someone took a screenshot one time. Fucking Kiwi. Kiwi smartened up. He got the fuck away from Sanford. Dr. Doolittle's still sucking his nut, trying to build his fucking channel. They like to ride each other's coattails and shit. And they were doing a live on some tech talk thing. So they had Kiwi, Sanford sitting down, and Kiwi standing up next to him. Kiwi slapped his head off his head. You could see, like that Julius Caesar thing going on. Sanford couldn't grab his fucking hat fast enough and jam it back on his head. And you could see he was not happy at all with Kiwi. As I was saying, guys with a big ponytail, he's trying to make up back there for what they don't have up top. You know what I mean? We do a lot of things. I don't wear a hat all the time. I like a hat, but a place we go, things we do, it's not appropriate to wear a hat. I don't wear a hat. I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. Like my gray hair is hereditary. It is what it is. I can live with it. I guess some other people can't. People with big egos, they gotta, be real concerned. And Sanford, by the way, you might want to, he turns his hat backwards, hats like this. They got that gap. Like this, you see all that bald. You see all that bald Sanford. You might want to start putting the beak in the front again. You're giving yourself away. Big time, there's no fucking big time racer. Never, he was a nobody. People know people that know people. It really is a small world. He used to hang around at tracks, trying to suck people's nut. Hey, can I work in your car? Trying to make a name for himself. He wrote for magazines. A lot of magazine writers know shit. Oh, yeah. Or sports writers, automotive journalists. They do research and research. What do they actually have for hands-on that they accomplished? They achieved something of some success. Sanford was never one of those guys. We got sports writers that are great, never played any sport. Throw them a football, they can't fucking catch it. Ask them to throw a baseball and get it over the plate from the pitcher's mound, they can't do it. But they're great baseball writers. Writers don't really impress me. All they're good for is giving you information. But having them come to your house and try to teach you the sport they write about, they can't fucking do it. They couldn't even coach a Little League team or a pop on a football league team. Okay? He's a writer. And he bounced around to a few magazines. They call freelance. You write a story, do an article, and if somebody likes it, they pay you for it. And then his writing stopped when nobody wanted his stories anymore. And he decided to start his own magazine. Here's where his string of failures comes in. He's going to tell Harley Davidson how to run their fucking business. Starts his own magazine. Lasted the first 3 issues and bombed and failed. Here's another thing, too. He opens up a coffee shop. Big-time car guy. Never owned engine building shop, auto body shop. Not even a gas station with a couple of pumps out front and a couple of lifts doing oil changes, brake jobs, tune-ups, shocks, and mufflers. Nothing to do with automotive. Coffee shop in New York. Went bankrupt in a year. Then he was a pizza delivery boy at night. His backup was potting out junk cars and motorcycles. Like he had 300 motorcycles. You know him, the great I Am. And then, a lot of shit started to hit the fan. Let's just say that there was a time in New York when a lot of things were going around with, cars being flipped, junk cars and parts that, let's just say they didn't have correct VIN tags on them. Some with no VIN tags. It's called chop shop. You know what I mean? Lost his Pete's Boy delivery job when he lost his license. No business owner wants somebody out delivering for them without a license. He gets into an accident, hits a pedestrian. He's fucked. He purposely knows, he had nothing going for him. And then with his potting out and flipping activities, That was the push you needed to fucking hightail it out of New York, get a clean start, you know, like the Beverly Hillbillies. Oh, yeah, the hookah bar, too. Opened the hookah bar. Once again, nothing to do with automotive. Hookah bar. Got less of the year, went bankrupt and shut down. Gets to Tennessee, he opened up a potting out business. Somebody told me the name of it. Mopar Southeast, Mopar, something like that. And he's all over the internet. You know, that's really, you know, even to this day, a lot of his projects say, look, I bought this, they're all fucking flipped. Like that boat he got for his granddaughter for Christmas. Hey, look, I got my granddaughter a boat. Yeah, that fucking boat was here today, gone tomorrow, back on Marketplace. He got it for cheap or for free and flipped it. Saying it's for his granddaughter to make himself out to be the world's greatest fucking granddad. You know what I mean? What the fuck does he do for his kids? All he cares about is himself. You know? Well, that potting out business he had in Tennessee failed after about a year, and that's when he went to Storage Rocker City. You know, I even wrote a song about that, remember? Take me down to the Storage Rocker City where the cars are junk and they run real shitty. Oh, won't you please take me down? And that's where he started his fucking scam on here. And asking people for money to help his build. You know, even, like I said, my ex-boyfriend, Cabbage Patch Kid. You know, a good guy. He just got involved with Sanford. You know, Sanford's bad habits tend to rub off on people when they're around him in close proximity for periods of time. Even him, he was asking for pots and a lot of what went into this junkyard dog, you know, 4-door Valiant, whatever the fuck it is. Thousands of dollars in money and pots. When $27,000 was into that. It didn't all come out of his pocket, but the total value of pots and money people donated, you know, he put in. Who the fuck in their right mind would spend $27,000 on that fucking car? Where is it today? You know, these cars and projects on here, they're fucking, I call them YouTube cars. They're props. They're totally fucking worthless. These cars never get raced. Other guys too. You know, talk about their car for the longest time. Oh, look at my car. It's badass. It's badass. Pictures, 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 pictures. Pictures, pictures, pictures. But it never gets to a track. They always have an excuse. But they'll go to tracks with other people's cars, but not with their own. That they brag about so much. I call it, it's eye candy. It's YouTube cars. They're fucking useless. They're props. You know? Trip Keeper, Sandy. The rest of them, so many. But I do, and I'm going to shut up. I got to get going. I remember the very first one I saw a few years back. Just going along and see a channel. A guy's in his garage at his house. And he has a rolling shell with a 67 Camaro. A rolling shell. It had front suspension and front wheels and tires on it. It had a rear axle with rear wheels and tires on it. No chrome trim, no nothing, just the body, unibody, shell. Had a front nose clip on it, fenders. No hood. The hood was leaning up against the wall. No grill, no interior, no glass, no nothing, taillights, nothing. And he's there, says, hi, introduced himself. I want to show you my 67 Camaro. I bought it, it was real bad. Bought it 2 years ago. And I spent the last 2 years and a lot of my money just getting the body, you know, straight so it's, I mean, the body looked good. It did look good. I wasn't there looking at it up close if there was dings, dents, waves. And in gray primer, it's hard to notice things, you know. Certain colors, like, you know, you paint a car gloss black, you're going to see every fucking ripple and wave. You know, things that really stand out. That's why certain colors guys want to stay away from if they know their body work isn't really great, but it's good enough. You know what I mean? It's good enough. But black isn't going to hide a lot of things. But black primer, where it's dull, it will. Gray primer, it will when it's dull. You know. It says, as you can see, I need all these things. You know, if you could help me out with this project and make donations, you can follow me along on this build. You know what I mean? And help support my car build. I remember seeing that, Sam. Doesn't this guy have any fucking dignity? Any fucking self-respect? Any fucking class? To be on here begging for money because he wants to build a car, but he wants other people to pay for it. What kind of fucking people do we have here on YouTube? Well, guess what? We got a lot of fucked up people here on YouTube. starting with guys like this through Sanford to the rest of them, ending up with people like Jabba. Have a great day, everyone. Have fun and stay safe.